Hello. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a different kind of video. I wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind, something that I've been observing and I find a little concerning. And this is about oversharing. We live in an era of social media, so sharing is something that is a very much like a part and parcel of our lives now, and I love it. I love social media. I love to tweet. I love to retweet. I love to see photos on Instagram. I love it all. Okay, it's fun, but like lots of times I get away with the feeling that we are sharing too much. Like some people just talk too much and share some things that are like too much information. Some things are like innocent, they're just embarrassing, but they're innocent, while some are actually dangerous. And I wonder why people say these things, why you share these things. And even in real life, sometimes people just overshare without intending to. Sometimes they don't even know that these things are dangerous to share with some other person. So I want to talk about oversharing in this video, the things that you should probably keep secret. Discretion is a virtue, you guys. So I'll talk about the things that you should be discreet about in this video. If you're a lady, man or woman, anybody can watch this video and take some learnings from it. But if you're a lady, some things I will talk about in this video are specific to us women. So let's get into them. If you're seeing my face and my content for the very first time, hi, my name is Sky. Welcome to my channel. Over here, I talk about all things minimalist lifestyle, creativity, and productivity. Everything is easy, chill. We're living our best lives over here. So if you like the vibe, please consider subscribing, okay? Starting from information that we share online, the very common one that I see a lot is what I call KYC or security information. You know how all those threads, they will ask you to share the name of your pet, the name of your primary school, the name of your village, the name of where you live, where you grew up, all of this information. And people just keep sharing stuff. And I'm wondering if it doesn't occur to them that these are the same kind of questions you get when you try to do something around banking or things that are serious online. They ask you this security information, what's your mother's maiden name, where you're from, where's your village, and people just share this information willy-nilly. And I'm wondering if they don't feel any sense of caution. I'm not saying that scammers are out there waiting for you to talk about your primary school, then they will scam you. It doesn't happen that way. But the truth is that we live in an age where there are scammers, the people who are out there mining information, some for good, some for bad. On the good side, on the positive side, companies are mining information to better tailor advertising to us, which is not a bad thing in itself. But there's also people who are out there getting this information for nefarious purposes. So when you're sharing these details about your life, your history, where you live, your primary school, your village, your favorite color, just bear that in mind. You could be sharing information that is potentially dangerous for you. This next one might be a little controversial, and that is earnings. As somebody who is young and hustling, and it's a woman specifically, sometimes when people ask you how much you are earning, be it family or friends, I kind of feel a little mixed about it. You can share how much you are earning, like a range or a band, depending on the context. If somebody trying to get into your industry, for example, is asking you, please, how much do you charge for this service, or how much do you earn for this job? Or if you're trying to seek for certain jobs and you ask other people, like your colleagues, how much they're supposed to be earning for that role or that kind of job, someone can share a band or a range. But to talk about specific earnings from a job or a series of jobs, my personal opinion, I feel that's information that you should share with caution. Know who you're sharing it with, know the context within which you're sharing that information. It's not something to share on the internet for sure. And even in real life, before you share that kind of information, know who you're telling. Even for our family, sometimes, if your mom or your dad or your siblings are asking you how much you're earning, sometimes telling them the exact amount, even though they don't mean bad or intend to rob you, obviously, but it might give them a sense of they'll know how to gauge you, know how to bill you, know how to sometimes they'll be wondering, okay, you're earning X amount of naira, give me this. You're earning X amount of dollars, you should be able to do this and this and this. When it comes to dating, I am of the opinion that as a woman, you shouldn't share the exact amount you're dating with a man or a guy or someone you're trying to date or talk to. If they ask you outrightly how much you're earning, to me, I feel like that's a little bit of a red flag. Of course, if you're going to commit to someone on the long term, like marry someone or engage, or as you're going into the relationship, you come to know how much the person earns and vice versa, and the person will come to know what your own financial situation is. But off the bat at the beginning, someone asking you how much you're earning, to me, I feel it's a red flag. So be mindful of if you're asked how much you're earning, if at all, share that information. If you must share that information, maybe give a range or give some sort of an idea so the person knows if it's absolutely important. Otherwise, please don't share. In my experience, male or female, there are people who kind of want to know how much you're earning just so they can know where to place you on the socioeconomic scale. They'll know whether to rate you or not, or respect you or not. Some people actually ask you so they can know what to get from you and how much to get from you, which is something that you don't want. So when it comes to dating and interacting like in that context, I would advise to not share your exact income. This next one baffles me, and I don't know why, but I see people talk about body count and they're asking themselves, what's your body count? What's your body count? And I'm wondering, what do you want that information for? Like, it's such a weird question to ask of anyone. I've never asked anyone their body count. And I think, has anyone asked me? I don't know if someone has asked me, but apparently people go around asking these questions of the people they want to date or marry. And I'm wondering why? What is the reason? What is the purpose of asking this? For me, in my opinion, anyone who asks you what your body count is, it's a red flag. The person is trying to judge you because there's no answer that's correct. It's like a trick question. There's no correct answer. They want to judge your morality. They want to judge where to place you. And we all know that morality is very subjective. What answer, what number is good, what number is bad, what number is small, what number is big. Okay? If you're dating someone or about to date someone and the issue of sex comes up, if for example sex is important to you, let's say for example you're a virgin trying to keep yourself for marriage or whatever, or maybe you are abstaining or you're celibate or whatever, then you can share that information within that context of, okay, we are discussing some sort of a potential relationship and sex is coming up, or we're trying to get married and sex is coming up, and all of these things. If for example you have sexual history that let me say you have some health concerns that have arisen from your sexual history, then yes, share that with your partner, because that's important. For some random casual rando on the internet or even in real life, or someone you're talking to asking you your body count, please don't say nothing. If you're a lady, this is very, very important. Do not talk about your body count. Do not share your body count. In fact, if anybody asks you what your body count is, take it from me, I can place money on this that the person more often than not doesn't mean well for you, and that's fact. If you have any contrary opinion about this issue of body count, let me know in the comment section. I want to hear what you guys think. But for me, there's no reason. Like, what's the reason? It doesn't add to any information. Like, it doesn't tell you if I'm a good person or not. It doesn't tell you if I'll be a good partner or not. It does nothing for the conversation. It does nothing for the getting to know me process. You understand? So I never ever want to ask. If the information gets volunteered to me, I'm not going to block my ears, obviously. And we're all human beings, let's be honest. If a man told me that, by the way, I've slept with 500 women, I'll be shocked and I'll judge the person, and that's just me. This might not be for everybody, and it's not the most ideal thing. I wish we can live in a world where we don't judge ourselves. I wish we can live in a world where we don't judge people. But the truth is that we judge. We are human beings. We judge. You can't help it. So, like, unless I've gotten to know you at a very deep level, unless we've built some sort of a bond and rapport, and we've taken some time to know each other, then when you told me 500, I'll still judge you, but it won't be the same as if you had told me that number at the first week or first 2 weeks of getting to know you. And it's so crazy because even if you say, okay, I've only had sex with just one person, it might sound cute for you to say, but if you think about it, if the person is half intelligent, the person will think in their head that, okay, why are you saying one person? How old are you? Is it possible that you're lying? Why would you say one? Could it be? In fact, I've even heard somebody say that if you see a woman who is in her 30s and she's only had one partner or zero partners, something's probably wrong with that person. That's how some people think. It seems ridiculous. Like, on one hand, women are expected to be pure and not even have sex at all. On the other hand, now they're saying if you have zero or very few sex partners, when you're grown, something must be wrong. Like, it's just crazy. It doesn't make sense. So there's no correct answer. There's no right answer. You are just going to be judged for no reason. So please do not share your body count. Man or woman, actually. But if you're a woman especially, please do not share your body count on no occasion for no reason. Speaking of judgment, one other thing that I feel people judge, like we judge each other for, and this is very unfortunate. In the past, I've had cases where I've shared about my family, about things in my family that I feel in hindsight now it was probably too private to share. But at the time, I felt we want to know each other. We're trying to build a future together. Probably, I'm getting to know you. So I was kind of open, and hoping and thinking that they were also open back. But in my experience, people take things you tell them about your family and they judge you for it. I've heard people say things like, oh, if you come from a family that is separated or dysfunctional, they will think you are also dysfunctional. People say if a woman has if she's not in good terms with her dad or doesn't treat her father very well, then she won't treat her husband very well. All of these weird things. And sometimes you might tell somebody about the black sheep of your family or some illness your father or your mom has, and you think you are being open, but they'll turn around and kind of judge you for it. They'll turn around and kind of place you in a box. They'll be like, this person is from so family. That means they're like this, that means they're like that. I know that we often want to. I'm laughing because this is a very common thing we all do, and I'm also like a victim because I feel if I'm getting to know someone, I don't really like to lie and pretend. And I feel after a while, if you're sharing things about your family to me, I should be able to share my own family side to you. But I've been judged for it, and that's why I'm advising you to not share your family secrets. If there are things about your sister, your cousin, your mother, your father, please don't share. You can share things like where you're from, things like your religion, things that kind of make up your value system, as it were. You can share that aspect, but don't share your family secrets. Don't share things that are, things that are heavy with people that you just met. Definitely not online, for sure not online. People come and talk about their family drama online, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so heavy. And you're telling all these strangers on the internet, why is that? So please don't share your family secrets online. And in real life, when you meet people, take some time, make sure that they've come to know you and value you as a person, as your own person. Make sure that they are also opening up about their own family to you before you open up about your family. This is very important. I don't know about other people, but for me, my family is sacred to me. So nowadays, I've come to know that I shouldn't share things about my family to any random person. This next one is crazy because it's not anybody's fault. We can all fall victim to this, and that is, talking about if you've been defrauded or if you've been scammed. Unfortunately, if you tell people that you've been scammed or defrauded, some people kind of see it as like a sign that you're not an intelligent person for some reason. I've heard about this sometimes. I heard about this sometimes on the internet, but people say that, oh, okay, if you keep getting scammed or you've been scammed before, that means you're probably not intelligent, as opposed to seeing it as you being a very trusting person, right? We're all human beings. Like I said, just judging things is something that we all do. So I advise that when you meet people for the first time or even online, please don't come and share how you've been scammed or how you've been, defrauded, especially when it comes to big fraud. If it things like an Instagram vendor taking your money and not supplying your goods, that's like common, and I think that's forgivable in quotes in this day and time that we live in. But specific scams, like big heavy scams, I advise you don't share that with the internet and don't share that with somebody that you just met. Take some time to get to know them, let them know you, let them know that you're not you're not a mumu basically. You're just somebody who is very trusting, and someone that was bad or people that are bad took advantage of that. Trauma is another big thing that I feel like if you want to share about your trauma, be very careful and very mindful of who you're sharing it with, where you're sharing it, why you're sharing it, and what you're hoping to achieve. I know people might be sympathetic or seem like they sympathize with you at first, but they judge you. Or you could be giving ammunition to somebody who will end up using that thing against you. Let's say, for example, you meet a guy or you meet a girl newly, you're trying to date someone or talk to them, and already they come to know that, your past relationships, let me say you were abused, or, you were taking some things that were not great for you, or maybe you were in some sort of a toxic situation. Sometimes you stand the risk of telling the person, if the person is someone who is like that or who is manipulative or who also has those same traits. One thing, you've exposed that you are aware of these things, so to help them, give them an idea to hide and pretend even more until you've been caught in. Or if you give the person an ammunition to know that yes, this girl, you can take this nonsense, or this guy, you can take this rubbish, let me also do it. So it kind of signals to the person that, one, you are open to taking this kind of thing, or two, if they see that you are serious about not taking it, they can pretend to not be like that just to get you in. So sharing your trauma, sometimes it might be some sort of a bonding technique or bonding exercise between you and the person you're trying to get to know. And it can be depending on who you're sharing it with, and depending on how open you both are towards each other and how honest the person is too. But I feel it's a very risky thing to do. So if you want to share your trauma stories, your trauma past with someone, you can share, but please be mindful that you might be giving yourself, or you might be opening yourself up to potential abuse. Like I said, sharing online is fun, but being that person who shares every single thing about you, everywhere you go, everything you buy, everything you eat, everything you drink, everything that happens to you, everything that you do, sometimes can be too much. It can be too much just for being too much sake, and it can also be dangerous if, for example, you are always going to a particular location or a place or a restaurant or whatever. Please don't share in real time, first of all, and if you must share, don't share as often as you go there. If, for example, you go there thrice a week, maybe share it just once a week. Don't share it 3 times a week, so someone looking at you can know, okay, this girl or this guy goes to this place 3 times a week. If you get a new shoe or a new bag, you don't necessarily have to show every single thing. Of course, being an influencer sometimes means that you share the items that you get in PR or things that you buy, so they can share the links and share the brands. I know all of that, but even within that context, there are ways that you can undershare. So you can share, but undershare the things you buy, what you do, the moves you're making, and all of those things. I just feel that's the better way to go, instead of sharing every single thing about your life. Whether you believe it or not, there's evil eye, and some people are just not happy for you. I'm not saying that people have the power to jazz you or to hex you over the internet. I don't know that much, and I can't speak for everyone, but I just feel that it's better to err on the side of caution. Like, you don't necessarily have to share all of those things. And if you're sharing it for the purpose of getting validation from other people so that they'll praise you and hail you, maybe you should sit back and think about why you feel that way and work on yourself, so that you know that you don't need other people to validate your existence. You are enough, you are okay, you are fine the way you are. You don't need to share every single detail of your life, and you don't need other people to praise you for you to feel good about yourself. Over the weekend, a very popular media personality in Nigeria, she shared some discussion she had with her husband, who is also a public figure, and it was kind of cringe to me. Naturally, there's lots of discourse happening, and people are giving their 2 cents. People that they ask, people that they don't ask. But everybody's putting their mouths in the matter. And I don't blame them, because you coming to talk about intimate conversations you have with your partner online, I feel is kind of cringe. There's a way for you to share. If there are valuable lessons that you want to talk about, that you guys discussed, there's a way to share that kind of information without necessarily sharing verbatim what both of you discussed. And this was a very, very sensitive, vulnerable moment between she and her husband, and she comes to share it online almost verbatim, and I'm like, this is crazy. Why are you sharing intimate conversations you have with your partner online? This is really, so me, I feel it's weird. It's really weird. Isn't this weird? I think it's weird. Don't come online or even offline and share literally intimate conversations you've had with your partner, in a vulnerable state, when you're both at home and you're sharing these things. Even here on YouTube, I watch some couples online. Now, I'm not married, yeah, so maybe that's what married people do, but I watch some couples who don't share, and I watch couples who also share. Some people who share kind of overshare. Like, we know you're both having sex, we know you love each other, we know you find each other hot, we know you guys play, we know all of these things. Don't come here and share intimate moments, sexual moments, intimate conversations. It just feels a little too much, in my opinion. I don't know that there's any specific danger in this. It's just TMI. I feel at the very least it's just TMI. So I'm not saying you have to keep everything secret. I'm not saying you have to share everything. I myself am not married. I don't know how I'm going to be when I'm married, but going by my nature and my nurture and what I know now, I don't think I'll be the sort of person to come and share intimate conversations, intimate moments with my partner online. Like, what's the reason? Why should I do that? What are you trying to show or tell us? What story are you trying to tell that can't be told except you show those intimate moments? That's what I don't get. So let me know in the comments if you have any opinions or any ideas about why this is happening, what you feel about oversharing, the things that you wish people didn't share so much about. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section. Give the video a thumbs up and subscribe in case you haven't. I'm going to see you in the next video. All right, bye.